When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Happy Wednesday night to all. Thanks for tuning in to the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We are here Wednesday night broadcasting here on the IWM Broadcast Network as these drivers take on Texas Motor Speedway in the Texas 225. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Rick Sousa here with my co-broadcaster John Durgis. And John, this is a good test for these guys.
It's a really good test, as we've seen here in practice. So we've seen a lot of drivers exploring the track, trying to figure out what lines you can run, what lines you can't run. And what we've seen is quite a bit of action. Some guys sliding out of 4, some guys sliding out of 2. So I think this is going to be a very interesting race because turn 1 and turn 2 are completely different than turn 3 and turn 4. And it's, almost had an accident right there with Maurice Burnett. But looking at everything, I think it's going to be a great night of action here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Tech4Troops Cup Series.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, so we'll get to a couple of things right now. Starting off and kicking off tonight is the GOAT Diecast Challenge Tournament Bracket, and let's take a look at that. All right, so how this works is you got 32 drivers qualified to get into make the bracket, and then it's a head-for-head battle. So what you've got here is however they finish tonight, they will advance on to the next round if they were to do better than the driver that they're up against. And then we will continue at Bristol, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and then for the championship in Michigan. There's more money on the line. So this is kind of like a championship within a championship.
Yeah, and it gives you a sense of urgency if you're a driver, knowing that you're going to be up against individual drivers in this in-season tournament, and it's a cool concept. I don't really know of any other series doing this here on iRacing, but I think it's one of a kind, and it obviously produces a good amount of action because you're not only worried about winning a race or getting points and towards the end of the race, whether you're finishing in the top 10 or want to lead a lap, you're also worried about finishing ahead of the guy you're up against. So it's very important. Oh, well, hopefully that doesn't happen too often in this race. Had a car slide through the infield, but it's going to be exciting all season long once we have this in-season tournament, and at the end we'll have an in-season tournament champion.
All right, so practices wrapping up here. They're going to move on to qualifying for tonight, but while they're qualifying, let's take a quick look at the race info.
Alrighty, so we have 150 laps here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Pit road speed, a very slow 45 miles an hour. No quick repairs, 5 sets of tires, 50% fuel, and 3 green-white checkers. Track temp is a little bit hot for 78 degrees, but it is going to be a good day of racing here at Texas. I'm imagining 50% fuel probably will get you anywhere around 40, 45 laps. That is my guess. Maybe even 30, 35 to 40 is probably my estimate right there as we start to see cars make their way on the track for qualifying.
All right, let's get that information off. But yeah, we are now underway qualifying here. This is a little bit different, a little bit unique in how they qualify. This series gives the drivers 3 laps to qualify, getting a qualifying lap in.
Which I think is good because if you mess up on one, you get another shot. If you mess up on the second one, well, you better be perfect on the third. And also we have to remember that we have a pretty large field here. I'm looking at the entrance. I think we have at the current rate 47 entrants in tonight's race, which means 4 are going to be going home and not going to see next week, or not going to see out next week, this race here at Texas Motor Speedway. I will keep you updated live on who those 4 drivers could possibly be as we see some drivers hitting the boards right now. Fastest time by Ryan Walter with a 30.5. The only driver at the current moment now beat by John Ledger, 30.4, Rick.
Yep, I see that. Having a little bit of a challenge with our graphics a bit.
No worries. No worries. I'll get some live updates here.
Come up.
Right now, John Ledger is leading qualifying with a 30.3, followed by Chris Worrell, Joey Doucette, Charles Van Scoyk, and James Lowe, all within 1.3 tenths of a second of each other. So there we are. Look at that. How beautiful. Now looking towards the back. 4 drivers that are not currently in the show. Car flipping upside down. Rick, 39 car is upside down and barrel rolling. Not sure if you want to go over to the 39 of Justin Horton. But he just had a nasty ride.
Yeah, for some reason he was not showing up on our display. Yep, he is gone, and I think... I see if he's coming back out. He is not. He has not come back out as of yet.
Right. So right now, Rick, Nathan Harper, Ty Bostic. Let me rephrase. Nathan Harper, David Sharon, Brad Slagle, and Marco Berube are the 4 drivers who are going to go home tonight with just under a minute and a half to go in qualifying. Ryan Pittman sitting there.
That is Zach
John
Ward.
Ledger. Yep, John Ledger sitting fairly comfortably at the top of the board. But as it stands, David Sharon and Nathan Harper have not completed a qualifying lap yet. So those 2 drivers I'm paying attention to right now, seeing where they're going to be.
They're both on the track. Nathan Harper I think he has jumped up to 37th.
Yep, that's going to move Dave Sharon. We'll see what he does coming out of turn 4 here for lap 1. (31.023). So far, David Watch, Jeff Nani, Brad Slagle, and Dave Sharon are the guys who are battling for. To get up above right now, Brian Johnson, a 30.861. With just under 15 seconds to go in qualifying. This is going to be the lap right here for Dave. Let's see if he can beat 43rd of Brian Johnson.
Nope.
He does not. So Brian Johnson gets the last spot in tonight's field, which eliminates David Watch, Jeff Denede, Dave Sharon, and Brad Slagle there. Unfortunate for those drivers. But that sets our 43-car field for tonight's race, Rick.
All right, so while we get the grid working here, so as we begin to see some drivers gridding up. And we're there.
All right, here we are. Here's your starting order for tonight's Tech4Troops GOAT Racing Diecast Texas Motor Speedway race. You got John Ledger on the pole with Chris Worrell in second place, James Lowe in third. I think we see Chris and James beside each other almost every race. Mike Slatker there starting in fourth, Armando Ortiz starting in fifth with Luke Bullard in sixth, Sean Skytman there in seventh, Ty Bostic in eighth. Joey Doucette rounds out top 9, and rounding out the top 10 is Charles Van Scoy.
11th, Lilith Peters. 12th, Jamie Dunning. In 13th, Jeff Narin. 14th is Ryan Pittman. 15th, Christopher Howell. 16th is Justin Horton. 17th is Ethan Thompson. The 18th slot goes to Ryan Walter. 19th, Austin Collins. And 20th is Austin Habel.
In 21st, you have Jesse Vaughn in the 84 with Marco Berubri in 22nd. In the 99, Garrett Johnston in the 23rd position with Zach Ward there into his outside in 24th. And 25th, you have Travis Murgar to his outside, Cody Sturgill. In 27th and 28th, you have Ian Ogden and Aaron Jackson. And in 29th and 30th, you have Nathan Harper and William Mann Jr.
In 31st, Harley Barletta. 32nd, Kane Vandemark. In 33rd, Zachary Allen. Sammy Harrell fills in a 34th spot. 35th is Phil Vandertwick. In 36th, Ryan D. Cook. In 37th, Rodney Uberpacker. 38th is Maurice Burnett. 39th, Zachary Groover. 40th is Christoph Hall. In 41st, Bobby Gibson. 42nd, David P. Sharon. Brian Johnson finishes in 43rd position and will be our last starter of the night.
Looks like we have two cars starting from pit road. I believe that is Cody Sturgill, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, that may be more of is that from last week's incidents?
Possibly could be. Either way, they are going to be starting from the pits here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Rick, really quick, let's go over keys to the race here. You know, Texas is an interesting track. We are seeing this style of racing here the second time this season outside of Kansas. So you have to figure out what you're doing with pit road. Pit road is going to be a major aspect of tonight's race when it comes to that. So pit strategy. Number 2, corner exit. A lot of guys tend to slide corner exit and basically destroy the tires, which allows you to fall back and doesn't give you enough at the end of the run. And third, don't overdrive the car. That's something that happens very commonly with drivers who are trying to make their way back up through the field or trying to get track position. It's tough. It's tough here at Texas to not overdrive it because, you know, Rick, turn 1 and turn 2, very different than turn 3 and turn 4.
Absolutely. Sorry about that. Just trying to get everything straightened out here, ready to go. We are about to take the green flag next time by. And again, we thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast network of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on Wednesday nights. You can find us here each Wednesday, along with on Thursday as well with the iNASCAR Series. So if you could, like or subscribe and follow along with what we do, and that way we can notify you when our next broadcast is.
Alrighty, looks like we got Lorraine saying go Lon, go Lon, go John Ledger. Mom's watching, and Mary Wise says, okay, 06 and 07, let's go racing.
That's Worrell and Lowe. That's those two guys have just done so well together these last couple of races.
They have. They've been phenomenal there. You know, Chris Worrell winning a race, James Lowe being up there almost every week. So it's going to be interesting seeing what happens here in week 3 of the Tech4Troops Cup Series, brought to you by Tech4Troops and GOAT Racing Diecast. Pace car makes his way down pit road here at Texas. They're about to enter the Geico restart zone, and we are green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Tech4Troops Cup Series.
You know, I don't know, a lot of people have mixed feelings about this track. I love this track.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a driver's track. I love driver's tracks. I love Indy. I love Pocono. This is one of them because it's not like Charlotte. Charlotte, fairly easy to drive comparatively to Texas, where, like we mentioned before, turn 1 and turn 2 are vastly different than turn 3 and turn 4. You really have to wheel the car in turn 1 and 2. So I'm right there in agreement with you. I love this track. Chris Worrell leads lap 1. That's another bonus point towards his championship efforts, as he's already locked into the playoffs. So we see John Ledger up on the high line with Mike Slatker right back there. You got Ty Bostic in the high line as well. Low line, you have James Lowe.
Yeah, we see that on the backstretch here. You can go 2, 3, 4 wide, trying to find your best way around, setting you up for turn 3 and 4, which is completely different. And then, you know, this front stretch with that little bit of dog leg right there, that's a challenge.
It is, and we just saw Luke Bullard tap the wall. I believe it was Luke there in the 3-car, tap that outside wall. He has some right front damage on that number 3 NV2 Motorsport Chevrolet, so we'll see what happens with him as he decides to kind of take it easy a little bit as we start to see some battles form. There's James Lowe to the inside of the 19 of John Ledger, battling for P1 or P2 rather. And Rick, it's like we see here almost every week. James Lowe and Chris Worrell up front. Now we do have a lap car. I do want to mention that we have a lap car that is out front in front of these guys. It looks like that is I'm trying to see who that could be. That is David Sharon. David P. Sharon there in the Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 43 Ford, or my bad, number 16 Ford.
Yeah, he is right in the leader's gun sights. We could actually jump in and just see how that looks. Chris Worrell.
And you see it right there. Watch the gear. He just shifted into 5th gear going into turn 4. Let's see if he downshifts when he goes down into turn 1. I would not be surprised to see that here with the gear ratio they have in these cars.
Yeah,
there it is.
Right there. Just coasting in through turn 1. Really at the point of where 1 and 2 meet, he's now back on the throttle. And then back in 5th gear, looks like right here entering 3.
It's a good strategy because you're allowing the car to have a little bit more torque with that 4th gear versus 5th gear, and it's allowing him to now lead the race. So looking at back, you have Chris Worrell in 1st, James Lowe in 2nd, John Ledger 3rd, Armando Ortiz in 4th, and Mike Slatker in 5th. Got a side-by-side battle there a little bit further on back between Lilith Peters and the 42 machine.
That's
of
Jamie
Jamie
Dunning.
Lee Dunning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of battle right there. You know, you always see a lot of nose to tail, but that's pretty typical of Texas until you start headed down toward the home stretch.
Very true. And right now, this is probably the most patient I've seen these Tech4Troops Cup Series drivers, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of race to go. They are not even a tenth of the way through this. They're technically 5% of the way through. Look at me doing math. And right now, looking at the field, the entire field is separated, not including David Sharon there, separated. Really, the top 38 separated by 8 seconds. So basically a third of a track. So a lot of racing to go. Everybody's battling for position right now. See some side-by-side battles. I believe that's Jesse Vaughn, and that is the 4 machine. Up there in a high line with the 5 and the 7, Zach Ward.
Yeah, tight battle running
Four
side by side with that in the field itself. And you know, this is now they've got 10 laps on these tires. You know, it's right now they're sticky and it's easy to get around side by side, but that's going to change in about 10 laps.
I think it's going to change a little bit sooner. I think it's going to change here in about 3 to 4 laps. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more side-by-side battles with the guys who have done a little better job saving their tires, and a guy, back to the wall there, that is Nathan Harper, with the 4 machine, the Dallas Cowboys 4 machine there in the high line. You're going to be able to tell who's saved tires and who hasn't here, as we possibly have a battle for the lead. It looks like the top 4 drivers of Low Ledger, Ortiz, and Slatker have caught the back door of the 06 machine of Worrell.
You know what?
Was Worrell pushing too hard?
I'm pretty impressed by the fact that David B. Sharon has continued to keep a gap between himself and our leader.
Oh yeah, he's running at some point in time. I was watching his lap times. He's been running a little bit faster than the leaders and been able to keep it right dead even. So he is trying everything he needs to do to be able to stay on that lead lap, because he knows if he gets a lap down, it's tough to get back. So
Armando Ortiz has made a push. He's now up to 3rd. He had a pretty aggressive get around like Slatker and move up into that 3rd position.
Yep, and John Ledger also got a little loose out of turn 4 about 2 laps ago. Got him behind these 2 guys, so John Ledger now back in 5th. 3 wide, though. Got Nathan Harper, well, it was 3 wide. Nathan Harper in the 7 of Zach Ward. A little loose out of turn 2. And really quick, you got Havoc in the YouTube chat. Good luck to all AJM drivers. And DJ Waddy says, Team Phil. Phil Vandertwick. And it looks like Dave Sharon has now been passed by the leader. He is going way back. He is just now exiting turn 2. Something happened with that car. Not really sure. He's way off pace.
Yeah, his top speed is kind of fallen off a bit for sure.
Last lap was a 33.1.
Yeah, that's off pace. His last time around was a 31.65. So. All right, 15 laps are in. We're scheduled 150 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway.
Car wrecked on the bottom. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Rick. There was a car on the bottom. I don't know who that is. He's kind of crab walking in the middle of 3 and 4 right now. Trying to figure out who that is.
Cindy Carroll back there, 43.
No. It's Bobby Gibson. Bobby Gibson has wrecked. Major damage on the 28 machine. Right front toe link destroyed.
Looks like he's made it into his pit stop, unfortunately, without a fast repair. He's going to be in there for an extended period of time while that repair is made. All right, your leader, the 06 of Chris Worrell, followed tightly behind by James Lowe. Ortiz, Slagter, Ledger, Skytman, Bostic, Aaron, Peters, and Powell representing your top 10 here on the IW broadcast of the Tech4Troops Texas 225.
Rick, I went back to try to figure out what happened to Bobby. I can't even pick him up on my relative. I can't pick him up anywhere. Maybe some blinking issue. I really have no clue what happened there. But unfortunate for Bobby Gibson there.
Yeah, I was just trying to scroll back through our data. Not really sure just what happened from there. I can drop back real quick.
Oh, there it is. Yep. For some reason, this was not showing on my end, but he's already wrecked by that point. Oh,
there's the wreck right there.
Yeah, that Oh, I think he slid it out of 4.
Saved it, and then unfortunately in the front stretch. Yeah, so he's got no control right now.
Yeah, and it just destroys that right front toe link. But good job limping it back around, getting the pit road, you know, not causing a caution. A lot of guys in that situation possibly would have stopped on the track. And Rick, oftentimes what you see is a caution flag because there's a car stopped on the track. So shout out to Bobby for sportsmanship there and doing that. Shout out to him. Hate that his race is over, but shout out to him. And we have a caution. Caution. Big wreck in 3, I believe.
Yep, I see that. Christoph Hall is involved. Ian Ogden, Travis Murgaard, Kane Vandermark, Chuck Skike, Ryan Cook also involved. So
oh, man.
Big wreck.
Wow, that's the second time we've seen cars go airborne tonight. Oh, what happened there? It started way back. So that is the 48, I believe. Vandertwick in that gradient number 48 machine.
Kind of
I think it's a little bit further up. Yeah,
it is further up. It happens in front of these guys. Happens right there.
So it looked like the car in front checked up, got in the wall. The 48 couldn't slow down in time, got into the bumper of that
I'm not
automobile.
Sure. Just see if I can grab one other driver here for a different position. Bear with me as pits are, there it is. Pit stops are cycling right now, so that's Vandertwick and Ogden right in front.
Yep.
So it's like the 21's definitely loose. And unfortunately, kind of the 48 kind of taps him. But I think he was loose prior to even. Do you see it the same way? Yeah,
it is exactly the same way. He was loose on exit 48. I mean, right there you could see him drive the corner. I mean, he may have been trying to do a little bit of a slide job. Oh, and the 8 just nowhere to go. Collects multiple cars. And that 8 went for a ride. Let's see if we can go on board with the 8 machine there really quick to get his view, because he came in pretty hot. Not really sure. Want to see what he saw. I believe it's the 8.
It's the 8, yeah.
So yeah, let's go see in-car cam with that. That'll be a fun ride. Ooh. So he had a great seat for this too. Up and over and back on all fours. And that's what it's like to go upside down in the next gen car, folks.
All right, so that's our first caution of the night. Sorry for that extended replay. I figured you may enjoy watching those cars go round and round and upside down. Lap 23, everybody, and I mean everybody, has made their way down onto pit road. And based on these times, now except for Lilith Peters and Jesse Vaughn, everybody took fuel and tires. These guys, these drivers, did not change tires. So Lilith Peters is going to start as the control car, unless she's going to come in now.
Which it looks like she is. You know what she might have been doing there? She may have been playing the bonus point game. Go out, lead a lap, get a bonus point, come back in. Why not? It's early enough in the race. It doesn't affect your strategy too much besides track position. Hey, if you're trying to get bonus points to get your way into the playoffs, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. She started great. Absolutely was up there and as a contender. But that also leaves Jesse Vaughn. Jesse Vaughn in that 84 Carvana car. He only took fuel and is going to start in third.
Very interesting move. I'm very curious to see how this goes because of track position. That's my biggest worry with only taking fuel. So track position, how your tires are going to handle. I mean, like that's a pretty interesting and slightly dangerous game, but I'm not going to question it. Jesse's an experienced driver. He knows what he's doing. He may be pulling the same strategy, saying, hey, I may want to try to get a point out of this and then worry about the rest later.
I think if I'm Mike Slagner, who's lined up directly behind him, I'm hoping that my spotter or a teammate has said to me, hey, the guy in front of you has not taken tires, so be prepared on the restart.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be prepared. Absolutely. You cannot not be prepared. Well, we're about to find out what happens here with Jesse Vaughn there. The blue Carvana car in the bottom lane behind Chris Worrell. Pace car's off. And green flag back in the air here at Texas Motor Speedway. Chris off to a great launch, but let's pay attention to this 84 machine. See what happens as he drops back. No tires. And you can see him sliding right there. You can tell. Just look at the difference in the grip levels.
Yeah, those guys are able to drive right underneath him.
It's going to be a long day for that 84 machine right here in this sequence.
Well, unless there's an opportunity for a caution, that may help him. But right now, he's going to cycle back pretty far because there's about, besides himself, 38 other drivers who took tires.
Yep, and he's going on back, already back to 8th place right now, or 6th place rather.
So you've got a number of drivers on pit road still making repairs from that last incident. Travis Bergard, I think Christoph Hall has retired. Bobby Gibson is also in the pits trying to make repairs. Not sure we'll see him back out tonight. His car took a really significant impact, and not sure if he'll get back out, but our fingers are crossed that he gets back out.
Absolutely.
So we are watching that 84 car cycle back. He's now in 8th and in danger of being run over by these guys behind him. Sean Skytman just behind him at 11, tapped the outside wall, and you will see that all night long.
Yep, turn 4 is notorious for biting drivers, and there it is. We got some 3-wide action right behind Jesse Vaughn, the 25-49. 3-wide now back to 2-wide.
Getting back up front, you're seeing Chris Worrell continue to lead here. James Lowe, his teammate, right behind. Armando Ortiz right there in 3rd. Taking a slightly different line, maybe a bit more, maybe a deeper bite. You've got the 14th of Mike Slagner right there, and Ty Bostic has made his way up to 5th.
Ty Bostic made his way all the way up there to 5th. Great run. 2 NB2 Motorsport drivers, arguably the best team last year, battling up there. 2 cars in the top 5 right now. You have third car, Luke Bullard, back in 20th, but he'll make his way back up to the front.
There's some good racing going on right now with these guys. Again, it's not the same as you saw at the high banks of a Daytona, where you often saw 2 wide, sometimes 3. But these mile-and-a-half tracks tend to be just like this.
They do, and it's all about track position. It's all about how much you're using your car. It's a battle all race long to get your car where it needs to be set up for a long run here at the end of the race. But as it stands right now, that 06 machine doing what he's done all season long. He's been up in the front there in that Fender Ford Mustang.
Yeah, Zachary Groover on pit road. He is now out. That was an unscheduled stop. He came back in, not sure what happened there. Maybe was there a possible black flag or penalty?
Looking at my side, I don't see anything at the current moment. No, I don't see. It may have been waived.
Gotcha.
But right now, 33 out of 150 complete. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's Tech4Troops Cup Series event here. Race 3 of the 2024 Season 1. Yes, we'll have multiple seasons. And right now, Chris Worrell out front doing what he's done.
Really just, what we've seen before, just putting on a little clinic between himself and James Lowe.
Absolutely, but I'd be on the lookout for some of these drivers here in the back. You got Harley Barletta up 18 spots, Nathan Harper up 13 spots, William Ann Jr. up 10, Philip Vandertwick up 13, Roddy Uberpacker up 8. I'd pay attention to those guys right there, as well as Christopher Howell up 8 as well.
Joey Doucette as well. He's now showing in 8th. Surrounded by Christopher Howell and John Ledger.
Yeah, John Ledger, kind of since the start of the race, has slowly fell back. Kind of surprised to see that, but it's a matter of the beast. It's a matter of the race. John Ledger's a good driver. We know he's going to be battling up there towards the end. Another driver to pay attention to as well is looking on back, Brian Johnson up 8 positions there. I know he's all the way back in 35th, but he's up 8 spots. So can he make it from last all the way to first? That's the question. Looks like we have a little bit of a shake-up there in the front. I believe that is Armando Ortiz got a little bit loose. Now loses a couple positions there.
Significantly, he was in 3rd. He's now dropped back to 5th.
Yep. He's about to get passed by Jeff Nairn there on the high side. Right behind him, you have Chris Howell. And Rick, this is where I'm going to start to see what these tires really have in them. They came down on lap 21. We are now currently on lap 38. So this is where we saw the drivers start to fall back, move to the front, actually have some significant position changes. So We'll see. Oh, a little loose there. And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, with 18
Yeah, that's why
laps, 18 laps in, we should also think about another 10 laps or so, looking for pit stops. A couple of notations here. Had Ryan Walter go off track. Cody Sturgeon also may have gone off the track a bit. They may have just run through the grass or caught some grass there.
I mean, if Dale could do it, can't these guys?
I don't know.
Do a little pass on the grass. Yeah, see? Look at that. Wasn't very effective, but
He survived.
essentially he survived, yeah. And that's the big key. That's why my second key of the race was corner exit. It is so important here because if you slide the tires out of 2 and out of 4 in one lap, you're going to upset those tires and you're going to heat them up. And unless you cool them back down, it's going to happen over and over and over again until you just wear them out more than other drivers. So that's why corner exit and not overdriving it is so important here at this stage of the tire stint, about 15 to 16 laps into it. So not including the caution laps. So we'll see as you see the 34 try to sneak underneath the 27. He's there. Getting a little bit of a push from behind, an arrow push from the 88, now side by side, battling for P5. And Rick, we may have a pass for the lead going on as we speak. The 07 is now to the inside of the 06 going into turn 3. That Coast Guard Ford and the 07 down low, high side of the 06. Oh, he slid.
Almost a little bit of contact there. But I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is that we are now here with 22 laps on these tires. And if you protected that tire, kept keep the heat out of that tire, you're going to have more at the end here. I think that's what we're seeing from James Lowe as he makes his way around Chris Morrell to take over the lead.
Right, and look who's back there in third, Mike Sladker. I mean, a driver that we've seen improve season over season, looking to get his win here to lock himself into the playoffs. Would be a huge win that would be for the 14 team, as he's basically bump drafting that 06 car.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something's going on with the 06 machine. He is off pace. Could he have burnt up his tires a little bit? I don't know.
We'll have to see what happens with the fuel situation.
Yeah, now here's the other side. Chris Morrell knows how to run races. Is he saving fuel?
Or is he really at this point just kind of backing off a little bit? Don't go so aggressively. If you lose a few spots, it's okay. We're gonna have traveling pit stops coming up soon.
It could all be a part of the strategy.
Yeah. He's only talking. He's sitting back in fourth, so it's not really a critical drop. Like he's dropping like a stone. But what I will say is, we're now at 25 laps on these tires, and more importantly, just to put this in perspective, Jesse Vaughn is now going in, but he had fallen all the way back to 36th.
Yep, 36th it's what we were expecting now. Is he trying to play this to where he pits when everybody else is on the track losing time? He gains a larger delta between when he was on track and they had fresher tires versus when he had fresher tires and they were on track with older tires, you know? He could be playing this the very long game.
Also, he could just be saving one set in the bank. Now he skipped a pit stop. He could actually just have an extra set for later in the race. But he is just getting out of the pits. After he may have also incurred some damage at some point, because that was a 37-second long pit stop.
Yeah, his right front looks a little bit wrinkled. Whoa. 21 car almost lost it again out of turn 2. Ian Ogden.
Yeah, now Ian last pitted on lap 20. So he's got some severely old tires. Jesse Vaughn is back on pit road.
Yeah, not what you see from that 84 Toyota Camry.
Yeah, he's
unfortunate there.
Yeah, got some damage.
He does. But right now, your leader, James Lowe, out front, Rick.
Yep, he's got a significant jump over Mike Slagter, who's now in solidly second, but they're making their way around the GOAT Racing car. That's Charles Van Scoten. But I'm guessing we're going to begin. Oh, yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Oh, what happened there? It looked like front stretch.
Possibly.
Yeah, front stretch. A couple cars involved there, right at the start-finish line. Oh, watch out. All right, let's take a look at this one. Coming out of turn 4, the 01's there, the 29's coming down. Oh, 29 looks like came down a little bit and tagged the 01, which sent her sliding. Facing the wrong way, not where you want to be at a racetrack, facing the wrong way.
Well,
possibly a little bit of netcode too.
Yeah, well, they're both coming out of turn 4, and you have to set yourself up for how the front stretch works. And I think they were each chasing the same amount of real estate.
Absolutely. And it's what you have to do, though. You got to race aggressive, and unfortunate there for those drivers and for Lilith, but she may be able to get back. I mean, the impact was tough. Didn't look like she broke a toe link, though, so she may be able to get back out there. But hey, look at what we got. Pit stops here on lap 53, a third of the way through this race. 2 cautions on the night so far. Let's see who wins the race out of pit road. Is it going to be that 07? I think it is going to be the 07. 07, then you got Mike Slatker, Armando Ortiz, Chris Worrell, and then Chris Howell, your top 5 out of pit road.
Followed by Joey Doucette, Bostic, Ledger, Naren, and Nathan Harper up 19 to 10th. And right behind him in the 11th spot is Harley Barletta. He is plus 20 positions. All right, well, while we're getting this back up, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Texas 225. I am Rick Sousa here with John Drudris with the IWM Broadcast Network, bringing you this race live. We are currently under our second caution for an incident on the front stretch involving William Mann Jr. and Lilith Peters. It's like a little bit of a racing incident as they were both looking and chasing for the same tiny bit of real estate at 160 miles an hour. But John, pretty good race so far. Definitely some great competition, and we certainly see, especially going back through the field, some big movers.
Yeah, some big movers for sure. Let's talk about the start of the field here. Up in 9th position, you have Nathan Harper up 20 spots. Right behind him, the biggest mover of the race is Harley Barletta up 21 spots there in P10. You have Zach Ward up 13, Philip Vandertwick up 17, William Mann Jr. up 11, and Sammy Harrell up 14, Zach Allen up 10. I'm going to keep going through the list. Ryan D. Cook up 11. Brian Johnson now up 14 spots from last place, Rick. It's all about patience.
He is working his way back up through the field. That does give us around 32, 33 cars on the lead lap. We do have a number of drivers who are still on pit road. Rodney Uberpacker, David P. Sharon, Zach Groover on pit road. A lot of these guys may have been involved in some earlier incidents, and they are working to get some damage repaired.
Yep, definitely looks like that for sure. So,
well, we're getting back underway. The field is gridding up. The leader, after that, does always have lane choice, and it looks like James Lowe has elected for that inside line. And we haven't seen too much of a move from the outside here. You've got to. Would you say it's a one groove track? I mean,
in turn 3 and 4, yes. In turn 1 and 2, no. I think for a period of time it can be, but the way with turn 1 and 2, how it's set up, how your entry determines your exit and vice versa, it's a multi-groove track in turn 1 and 2. Green flag back in the air here at Texas Motor Speedway. You had a big, car stalled. Car stalled there on the high line. We're wrecking, Rick. We are wrecking in the back. Oh, they kept it forward. We are not wrecking, but that's a car up at the high line with no power. I don't know who that is, but there's a car on the high line with no power. Who is that?
I think that's Jeff Narron.
What in the world happened with Jeff? Looks like he's underway now. But that just, that could have been terrible. He is off the pace and looks like he's going to pit road.
I don't see any, any obvious damage.
It's going to be on that right side of the car. He got hit from behind and basically ran the outside wall.
I don't think there's a toe link or damage there. He's not going to pit road. He is staying on the track.
Okay.
He's currently back up to 165 miles an hour. Nope, I take that back, 145. So he's not really back up to speed yet. Here he is.
I am as lost as you are, Rick. I have no idea what just happened.
All right, let's see if we can find something as we go back up front. As we see that the 14 of Mike Slagter has got the 06 of Chris Worrell slipping underneath him. I'll go look and see what I can find on the restart.
I mean, he definitely was off the pace right here.
Is it possible he missed a shift, maybe? So this is the restart.
Yep, I just got word from race control, Rick. He could not get it out of second gear. So you're going to see it start affecting him here.
Yeah, transmission problems. Then he gets bumped by the 42. 42 spins, but they miraculously hold on to it, but he is basically scrubbing off that wall.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked that there wasn't a caution. You had a car basically almost sideways, but no caution.
Yep. Well, that makes sense. That definitely enlightens us as to what happened. So here we are, lap 61. They all pitted last on lap 52, coming up to 10 laps. And you've got James Lowe and now Chris Worrell saying, hey, I want my spot back.
I told you it wasn't going to be long.
But definitely a battle right there with the 14. He's not ready to give that up and he wants second place back. Now you've got Joey Doucette in the mix. He's right there with Mike Slagter. Great battle up here at the front amongst these guys, all behind Chris Worrell. That's James Lowe, Mike Slagter, and Joey Doucette.
And this is what we see out of this group of guys right here. We see battles in and out of every single race, every single week. It's exciting to watch.
Oh, Joey Doucette got super loose coming out of 4. Had to kind of collect it back in, lost a bit of time, and has now dropped to 4th place behind the 14 of Mike Slagter. He hasn't given up that spot yet, but, well, he may just pull it out. A little contact with the wall there. He is definitely driving hard, John.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are digging for every little inch that they can right now, trying to keep themselves in front and keep track position. So it's all about, you battle now, you're going to be down a little bit towards the back end of the field and back end of the stint. So we'll see how these guys start to play it out here as the race goes on.
Yeah, tight battle between Joey Doucette and Mike Slagter. They were kind of swapping those positions back and forth. Mike took a little bit different entry into 1 and then exit out of 2. That allowed the 11 car of Doucette to slip under him. Oh, caution's back out again.
Yep, caution, I think, on the front stretch. No, turn 1 and 2.
Garrett
turn 1 and 2.
That's the 20 of Garrett Johnson. Oh, looks like a little bit of contact with the 6 of Habel.
A little bit of assistance. Oh, yeah, a lot of assistance there.
Well, that didn't make much sense.
It looks like he didn't expect him to check up as much as he did.
And you wouldn't expect the big checkup here. It's the middle of the front stretch, right?
Well, he lets out. Oh, was there smoke?
Was there a car in front of them?
Was it just me or did I see smoke as well?
You saw smoke. Let's just we'll watch it again. Smoke appeared there. Don't know why, but then let's just do one more thing since we're going to be dissecting this like we are. Let's go ahead and just grab the cockpit and let's see if we watch those RPMs. Right now they're at 82, 85. 83. Watch for that smoke and the RPMs to drop.
It looked like he was checking up for the corner, but what is the smoke?
Yep, no idea.
Did he hit the wall, though, when he came back up? I don't think he did. No, I take that back. Yes, he did.
Not too bad. Kind of kept it off. All right. Well, it's only our third caution of the night here on lap 68. And Joey Doucette is currently showing in the lead now for a reason, because Joey Doucette, Christopher Howell, and Lilith Peters, 1, 2, 3, did not go in.
That's such an interesting strategy. I mean, it's, I know it's a little bit earlier in the stint. I mean, they could be thinking, 2 pit stops ahead, which is what I suspect. But it's just an interesting call to see that right now.
Yep, field is beginning to form back up and anticipating this race going to go back underway in a lap or so. But so lap 69, 3 cautions in.
Not too bad.
Nope, Joey Doucette, Christopher Howell have taken advantage of that caution flag, as well as Lilith Peters, and decided to not go in. Of course, they pitted last on lap 52, so their tires are only 17 laps old.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit old towards probably the back end of the stint, but either way, they're going to have to hit off cycles. So we'll see how this plays out here as this race goes on.
Well, we've got 33 cars currently showing on the lead lap. David P. Sharon is currently the last car on the lead lap, back in 33rd position. Austin Collins is just reporting he's coming down pit road. And he disappeared.
Now you see him, now you don't. Odd.
Yes.
We've had weird things. Cars disappear, random smoke out of nowhere. And is he back?
Not sure. I was just popping in here. This is, we're behind the 39 of Justin Horton. May have had an earlier incident. But we want to get back up front. We're about to go back to green flag momentarily.
Alrighty, on the front row, Joey Doucette and Christopher Howell. If you've been a part of our IWM broadcast, you know early on in our early seasons, those two battled for tooth and nail every single week. So you got Doucette and Howell there, first and second, both AJM drivers. Pace cars down, and we're green flag back in the air. Joey Doucette, great launch.
Yeah, he's going to definitely need it, being on slightly older tires. The 01 of Peters slips back just a little bit, as there's a good run on the outside by a number of drivers working their way on fresh tires to work their way around.
Yeah, and you see the 11 try to dive down a little bit there into turn 3 rather. Try to hold that 88 behind him. 88 looks like he's about to get a run on the low line. 11 still there. 88 goes high. Tries to get around on the high side. Can he get it done? Rick? I think he just did. Well, Chris Howell is up 14 spots. I haven't said this all season long, but Christopher Howell is on the prowl.
Yes, he is.
He's up there, up 14 positions. And let's talk about some of the biggest movers of the race. He is one of those up 14. You got Nathan Harper up 23, Harley Barletta up 21, Sammy Harrell up 23, as well as Ryan D. Cook up 17 spots. Some of our biggest movers of the race. Car a little bit on the wall in turn 1 and 2. I think we're all right.
Yeah, I thought that was Nathan Harper. I could be wrong. It seemed a little bit wide.
And just like that, we have a battle between the Chris's. Chris Howell and Christopher Worrell. Oh, contact.
Contact up front. With only just coming up to the halfway point, the last thing you want is a little bit of contact that will wreck you.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't. This is a different kind of league. There's no quick repair. There's no easy out. There's no oops, do over. Ready player one. It's just not like that. You got wrecked. You've got damage.
You're done.
Yeah, you've got to either hope it can be repaired, but you're going to lose spots.
You are 100% going to lose spots, and you can't afford to do that. Not in the Tech4Troops Cup Series when every point matters, every position matters. And also, these guys, you got to remember, are battling in the in-season tournament as well. We'll update you next week on that updated bracket on who won week 1, which is Texas.
Yeah, and you've got to qualify to get in too. So,
ooh,
there's contact.
Sorry. Yeah, that was. I didn't mean to cut you off. That looked like. Who was that? The red and blue car.
Zach Ward.
Slammed the outside wall. I think it was a little bit ahead. It looks like the 10th car in line here on my side. Who is that? Is that
I've got
Ethan
Zach.
Thompson? No, it was that car up in the high line right there, that red and blue machine.
That's Sammy Harrell.
Yeah, Sammy Harrell, clocked the wall. Gave it like a right hook. And I think what you saw was Zach Ward affected in that. Yeah. Ran to the back of him.
Sammy Harrell's currently now showing in 20th position in that GOAT Racing Diecast 43. But yeah, there's pretty significant front right and right side damage on that car. You see Marco Berube in that 99 up high, trying to work his way around.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, it sure did.
Almost a 3-for-1 right there if he gets around that 18 machine.
Yeah, I don't typically see Texas as being one of those traditional high line tracks.
He's able to do it though, which is impressive. And he comes from the same camp that we saw last year with everybody on his team. That high line was their favorite. We had that whole team basically wall riding, which is impressive to watch. So not too uncharacteristic from those guys.
All right, lap 80 is in the book, 74 to go here in Texas. Chris Worrell back up front is currently leading. Christopher Howell right behind, James Lowe, Nathan Harper, Armando Ortiz, Mike Slagter, Joey Doucette, Lilith Peters, Harley Barletta, and Ty Bostic. That is your top 10.
What a star-studded top 10.
That's the 4 of Nathan Harper. Cowboys Ford Mustang.
The 4 in the 4. Fourth and, yep, Nathan Harper there. Hey, I can't argue. I love that scheme. Very much so. I just wish that the team would actually do as good as Nathan's doing right now. Being up near the top.
Yep.
Womp womp. Womp womp.
All right, checking back in with Hermie Barletta. We do have a number of drivers that, again, as we talked about early on, Christopher Howell is sitting up here in second. He did not pit that last round. He stayed out. So he is on tires and fuel from lap 52. So 31 laps ago.
Yeah, he should be coming down here probably within the next 10 laps, I'd imagine, which means he only needs, after this next stop, one more stop. I imagine that's how everybody's going to be here on this stint. One more. Let me look at my statistics here. Yeah, everybody pitting on 67. You're going to have to pit twice. You'll probably have to pit twice.
So Lilith Peters, Joey Doucette, Christopher Howell last on lap 52. I think right now they all have, even if they pit now, I take that back. I don't know when they're
We really don't know when anybody's going to pit, let's be honest. We only know what the statisticians create, what us, these statisticians create. And we have estimates, so we'll see. But right now, taking a look at this top 10, you have Lilith Peters up there in 8th, Ryan Pittman there in 10th with Philip Vandertwick there. Harley Barletta up 22, Vandertwick up 24, Nathan Harper up 25. Some big movers here in this race. See if one of them could maybe squeeze out a podium or possibly a win, which would cement their championship hopes here for the Tech4Troops Cup Series.
Yep, we're keeping an eye on these drivers. Again, now Christopher Howell up front, getting his way around Chris Burrell. Again, he just pitted, well, he didn't pit, so now he's up front on 34 lap old tires.
It's impressive. It's impressive, but I don't know how long it's going to last. And there's the 06 going back down to the bottom. He's there. Oh, he slid up a little bit. Contact. Oh.
Well, his tires are now 20 laps old, so that the bloom is off the bud at this point, off the rose. So, you know, his tires are going to be just as slippery, or nearly as slippery as Christopher Howell's.
Yep. I mean, they've been trading spots here, you know, the last 15 laps. So we'll see what happens with the 88. Is he going to get a run? No cautions out. Front stretch, Rick.
Christoph Hall. He's got some definite damage.
Nobody else got into him, I hope. And he's parked it up there. Yep, tough hit. Turn 4's been a monster tonight. I think it's time to bring back the Turn 4 monster. I think it's here. It's got a couple victims tonight, which is not what you want. Not what you want here a little over halfway through this race.
Nope, and that does bring out our fourth caution night here on lap 88 for a little bit of a spin by Christoph Hall, which single car incident, but we expect to see everybody coming down pit road this time.
Yeah, you have to. You got to come down. Got to come down pit road.
Watching your leaders come down. That is Chris Worrell. Now, is this a 4-tire stop?
I'd think so. Oh, I think we had some guys take 2.
We did. That's going to change up a bit, this starting order. Big burnout by John Ledger getting off pit road. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech4Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here at Texas Motor Speedway. We are 90 laps in. We are on our fourth caution of the night for a single car spin on the front stretch by Christoph Hall. But we thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast, and for those of you who may watch it in replay, we ask that you like and follow along so we can keep you updated on some other broadcast events that we got. Right now, every Wednesday and Thursday nights, you'll find us either here for the Tech4Troops Cup Series or on Thursday nights for the iNASCAR Series. That is an incredibly competitive league. We had some great racing last week with those guys.
Yeah, it's a league that is such a high skill level. They're fun to watch, and the battles are intense. And they match the NASCAR schedule. They match the NASCAR schedule, so they'll be at Atlanta tomorrow night, and that is the new Atlanta. So, if you want to call it a super speedway, I call it a super speedway. Basically, it is turned into back-to-back super speedways there for the iNASCAR Racing Series. Come out tomorrow night, same time, same broadcast network. Will be live on all of our channels, especially YouTube. Shout out everybody on YouTube that always watches. It's always fun.
Yeah,
interacting with the comments and all that.
We will have a special race, I believe, on Friday night. We're doing the VEG PC broadcast. It's a money race on Friday night at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central Time. They've got an event that we're going to be broadcasting for them on Friday night. So if you're interested, tune in. The IWM broadcast of the VEG PC race on Friday.
Yep, big money. Lot of tough competition out there. Super speedway style racing. It's wild. You'll see some of the best three, maybe four wide racing you'll ever see. So it's something else to watch. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, come out.
Yeah, when there's money on the line, risk and reward is a hotly debated topic.
Very.
All right, we're about to go back to green flag racing here at Texas. Ryan Pittman, Chris Worrell is in charge. Ryan Pittman's who is outside.
Let's see how this goes. Ryan Pittman is the control car. Green flag back in the air. And not a great restart for that 88 machine. There goes the 07 to the high line. Ryan Pittman out there got his bonus point, and he is about to get taken over here in a little bit, depending on how those two tires go. So this is going to be one of the first times that we see how does two tires, fair gets four. Is that a viable strategy? We don't know. We're about to find out.
We are. Yeah, he was able to move up a lot of positions by only taking right side tires, but it's not the same.
It's really not. That the grip that you lose is substantial. Now, I understand the move for track position. I think it's a smart time to do it because the tensions are going to be a little bit higher as the race starts to dwindle down. So let's see how Ryan Pittman fares.
I think it cost him a 10th. Looking at these lap times.
Yeah, I mean, over a 30-lap stint, that could be about 3 seconds if that all averages out the right way. So we'll see what happens to Ryan. But back out front, though, Rick, who other in the 06? Chris Worrell back out front here leading the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Side-by-side action there with Howell and Lowe. Nathan Harper now on the back doorstep of those two drivers, trying to make his way up plus 25 spots on the night, your biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, Nathan Harper's right there in the mix of it. But their nose to tail, that's the 88 of Christopher Howell, James Lowe, and Nathan Harper right there. To the outside, you've got Armando Ortiz coming back up, trying to work his way around. That's Joey Doucette there, followed by Mike Slagter. He's back up. He's now in 7th. So a lot of position battles going on right now behind the leader, which frankly does nothing but better Chris Worrell, because if they're battling side by side behind him, he is going to be able to pick up some additional spots.
Correct. Yeah, very correct.
Back through the field, there are some battles happening right here as well. 4 cars all battling for the same spot. That's the 48 of Philip Vandertwick. You've got Zach Ward, Ryan Pittman as well back down there. Jeff Nairn is there as well in the 27. 25 is behind, that's Ethan Thompson. And John Ledger back there as well. 16th position.
Oh, car on the wall. Correcting possibly. Not sure who that was, Rick, but we have somebody slow off the pace just getting into turn 3. The 6 car. Right front toe leak done. Another AJM driver.
Yeah, that's the 6 of Austin Habel.
Oh, man. Tough luck this year for Austin.
Yep, you can see that there's no movement in that right front. He is done for the night. And lap 99. But the green flag did stay out. These drivers are learning that it's okay. Just get to pit road.
Exactly.
A little bit of a slightly off the 11. That drove down deeper and was caught right up his bumper and is working his way around him at the moment.
Correct.
Trying to. Got a good run off that corner by the 34. ...101 laps in the books.
Yeah, just under 50 to go. Almost contact. These guys are laying on the line right now, Rick. Yeah, I think it. Oh no, was it not?
Somebody else in that GOAT racing. I don't know who that is.
I believe that is the 64. No. No, not Cody Sturgill. Is that the 43? No?
No.
Who the heck was that? Well, that's a little bit odd.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to our...
That was Christoph Hall. Christoph Hall.
Thank you.
Looks like he's blinking a little bit there, Rick. At least on my end.
All right, haven't seen that yet, but he is in that white and purple 98. Currently shown back in 39 position. Okay, so we pitted last on lap 88. Now we are at 105. That's 17 laps later. So if you've listened so far, you're going to say it before. Around this time, that nice sticky rubber you had laid down is all but gone, and now you're dancing your way through these corners, picking your best entry and your best exit that does not heat up that right front.
That's correct. It's always such a tough battle to navigate your tire conservation and aggressiveness, because you know if you let off, you're going to let the guys behind you catch you, but if you don't let off, you're going to burn up your tires and the guys behind you can still catch you. So it's a cat and mouse game, a whole race. So right now, Chris Worrell up in first, James Lowe second, Armando Ortiz in third, Nathan Harper in fourth, and Christopher Howell in fifth.
I'll say right now the mouse of Chris Howell is being, oh, look at that.
Into the wall.
I think they're working their way around a lap car and maybe got a little bit squirrely.
Yep, just a little bit. I can agree with that, absolutely.
I am trying to identify that car, but I
Is that the 80? Not the 80.
I think it's a lap car.
It's Brian Johnson, the double zero.
Yeah.
Yep, double zero. That's unfortunate. He was making his way up to the front.
Yep.
Had some right front damage, I can tell right now.
So he's certainly plowing through those corners. He is currently showing back in 32nd. Trying to make his way around.
Yep. We're 22 laps into this stint, which means we are just about there when it comes to potentially seeing some of the first stops of this race. Could this be the final stop for some of these drivers? Who's going to make the first move? I really don't know yet. We'll have to see.
Well, also pay attention. Oh, loose, the 34. After making his way up to second, Armando Ortiz was super loose, and he saved it. Great save, but it was close.
Very, very close.
I think that save cost him. Yeah, that's going to give you a bit more tire wear, turn a bit more heat, and that's right now that's your enemy.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, and that's what you don't want that to happen. Obviously, and especially at this stage of the race, it's all part of this game that these guys are playing. So we'll see what happens as the tires are starting to get extremely worn on these next-gen Tech4Troops Cup Series cars. As we see another lap-down car, that is the 8 machine there of Maurice Burnett. Yep.
The other thing to think about here is now we got 37 laps to go before this race is done. Certainly that window of how far can you go is either there or about to be there, so this entire field has to come back down one more time.
Yep, they do. And this is, 34 loose again. Wow, he is chasing the back end of that car out of the corner. Real loose. Who's going to be the first taker? Because that is going to be the telltale sign of when everybody's going to start coming out pit road. Who's going to be the first taker? Who's going to be the first one to make that move? And once that happens, you're going to start to see everybody making that move.
We're on board with James Lowe. It's the 34 of Armando Ortiz in front. Oh, a little bit of counter steering by James. That, I think the 34 was so loose, he kind of lost position.
Yeah, you don't want to see that at all.
Yep. So he's now tucked back in behind James Lowe. And if you are watching along, you can see that steering wheel, that orange stripe there, kind of signifies the centering position of the wheel. Gives a driver a bit of a graphical representation of just where he is in position. And sometimes you'll see as you're coming out, you'll see the driver begin to have to counter steer a bit to counteract the motion of the car. See a little bit of there as James is working his way out of turn 2.
Rick, I'm very curious to see what happens now. We are in that window. We are in the window of pit stops. Who is going to be the first one to take that chance? Who's going to be the first one to take that shot down pit road? That's the question.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm waiting for. I don't see anybody yet on pit road. I see some drivers possibly communicating. Does that mean we could see some guys on pit road? I don't know.
Well, it's a gamble. Do you think that maybe in the next 10 laps you're going to find another caution come out? You do have 2 drivers now that basically said, you know what, we're going for it. So we got Ty Bostic coming down and Ryan Walter have both decided to come down now here, lap 118.
Yep, this is the first round of takers. Also, just got word, Ty was speeding on pit road. No, Ty Bostic, a black flag, speeding on pit road. Not what you want. Got more drivers coming down. I believe that is
Armando Ortiz.
Yep.
Ethan Thompson.
Tough break for Ty.
Bostic is being
Tough break.
held. Is being held in the pits for a speeding penalty on pit road. So we do expect to see our leaders come down at some point with just 30 laps to go. That's probably enough time to come down and leave enough fuel in the tank if there is a green-white checker. Garrett Thompson,
I would agree.
Rodney Packer, Sean Skyman, all on pit road. So the field is beginning.
Here it is, the money stop. You got Luke Bullard now on pit road. Chris Worrell, I think, possibly could be. No, he's still on the track.
Zach Ward is now coming down. Luke Bullard.
Got some more guys coming down pit road.
So green flag pit stop underway here, lap 121. We are following the leaders, hoping to see and catch.
I think he's coming down. Nope, he's not.
We're watching Chris Worrell. He's got his teammate James Lowe behind him. Christopher Howell and Nathan Harper. Mike Slachter, that's your top 5. The laps are ticking down. Lap 122.
I just got word somebody else from the top 5 is coming down pit road. That is going to be the second place car of James, now third place car James Lowe, making his way down pit road, as well as the 4 car and the 14 of Nathan Harper and Mike Slachter, as well as Marco Berube and Harley Barletta. Here's the field.
Yep, big
everybody.
Big group. Cody Sturgill, Jamie Dunning, Vandertwig, Ryan Cook, Aaron Jackson, all on pit road. I expect we will see Chris Worrell, and yep, Chris Worrell is now on pit road.
Oh, he was speeding. It looked like he was speeding. He came down pit road very fast. Don't know if it actually was, but there was a lot of speed. Oh, watch out. Oh, well. Yep, we saw that too, folks.
I do not know how that didn't involve. So,
yeah,
there's a little bit of grace that happens on pit road where iRacing says, you know, there's no way, it's hard in a simulation. This is not a real car, per se. And they have that grace there, but you can still have contact on pit. I don't know how that didn't just affect.
I don't know either. But he just took right sides only. Chris Worrell took right sides only there, Rick.
I think he took what Christopher Howell did to Hart.
Yep, he did. And right now, it looks like Cody Sturgill, black flag. Don't know what for, but I know he was black flagged. I see it on my end.
All right, Chris Worrell in lap 123. Armando Ortiz up to the lead. He went in on lap 118 with a full 4-tire stop, and he is currently scored in first place.
All right, 26 laps to go. Who is going to be victorious here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, round 3, race 3, if you want to consider it, in the 2024 season 1. Out front, you have Armando Ortiz. I think one of his first races this season, he came down pit road on lap 118. 118, he is one of the earlier takers outside of Ryan Walter on 117 and Garrett Johnston on 119. He is pit 5 laps sooner than everybody else and currently has a 1-second gap to Chris Worrell. So this is the race.
Let's bring up that gap. Let's get a better shot on that. You can see that as a full 1 second. There's nothing between Armando Ortiz and Chris Worrell. But Armando Ortiz has got lap traffic he is dealing with. That is going to potentially impact these last few laps.
It definitely will. We'll see how it plays out.
Here's a 34 of Armando Ortiz setting his line. Unfortunately, Chris Worrell has completely closed the gap and is now challenging for position.
He is. Now, Armando's not going to give up that lead too easily. I mean, it's going to happen. Just wait. You know, when is that going to happen? I think it's going to happen right here. Going down to the turn 3.
Now, he did that with just 2 tires from that last pit stop because Armando took all 4.
Yep. So that's 5 laps of tires right there. But only right sides. Very interesting. And here comes James Lowe battling outside of that 34 car, seeing if he could possibly squeak by which I
Caution's
believe
out.
he will do.
Caution's out.
Oh no, on the backstretch. Actually, is it on the back? No, it's on the
No, Garrett
front.
Johnson is now. We got to take a look at that. He wound up coming down pit road. That was a mess.
Yeah, what happened there? Oh wow, this is gonna shake up the. Well, hey Rick, I think I've seen this story before.
Joey Doucette. They're constantly battling. Yeah,
That was
let's let this
yeah.
play out.
Yep, let's watch it.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, let's not.
Well.
Hang on. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
he almost
folks.
caught the 11 back down the track.
Yep.
Let's see what happened here between Joey Doucette and the 20 of Garrett Johnston.
The 11 does come up.
I mean, yeah, quite a bit there, Rick. I don't know. How do you view that?
Carefully.
Yeah, I think it was. I think another thing we've seen is just real estate. You know, it's valuable. Did anything start going into turn 1 and turn 2?
That's what I'm wondering here. Let's just go back. Let's grab it from the 11's position here. 11's down low. He's hugging that white line, trying to motor his way out. Comes up. They're tight there.
Good side-by-side racing.
Yep.
No?
Yeah. Again, the 11 drops down and hugs that apron. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, tough break for the 20. Almost came back and sideswiped the 11.
Yep, sure did. Well, unfortunately, his race is over. So definitely a little bit of a shakeup here with 19 laps to go. You did have a number of takers who came down pit road. Pretty much the top 10 stayed out, and everybody else, James Lowe, Armando Ortiz, came down, and they all took and made a 4-tire stop. So that was this is our 5th caution. Those guys definitely had a set of tires to put on. I believe the top 10 do, but this has got a, we'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting strategies to say the least.
Well, there may be some wave arounds here. We'll see how the field shakes out when we go back to our formation lap before we go back to green. But with 18 laps to go, we'll be a 20 by the time we take this. So 20, sorry, 16. My math was going forward, not backwards.
It's all right.
It's been a long day.
It happens.
So I know that Jason Parker couldn't be here tonight. We want to send our thoughts out to Jason, who's a little bit under the weather. Jason is the voice of Tech4Troops here, comes on each week and talks about the Tech4Troops Scheme Skirmish. We'll have to announce that, who he awards that to next week after he gets a chance to watch this race. But our thoughts are with Jason, and we'll get back to you next week, who was able to win that Tech4Troops Schemes Skirmish for tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good paint schemes. Always are. It's cool to see these drivers out here racing all these cool schemes.
All right, so the lights are off on the pace car, and so now we are forming back up. And that puts Nathan Harper Right there in command of this restart. He's got Zach Ward to the outside, Harley Barletta, Charles Van Scoik, John Ledger, Lilith Peters, Aaron Jackson, Sean Skytman, Ryan Cook, and William Mann. That's your top 10. And then everybody behind them all came in on that last pit stop.
I love the call. I think it's a great call by all these cars staying out. I think, yeah, at the back end it's going to be a little bit iffy, but I think this could pay out for some of these drivers here up in the front. Now, who's it going to be? I don't know. Now, if we get another caution, it's really going to suit well for some of these guys. So,
Yep.
yeah, this is going to be a battle to the finish between 10 cars who have about 10 lap older tires and some guys who have 10 lap fresher tires.
So yeah, you think this is, I may be in disagreement. This may be crazy on this restart and the first 3 to 4 laps.
I think we're about to figure it out. Green flag back in the air here at Texas with 16 laps to go.
Big jump by Nathan Harper. If I'm Nathan, I want nothing to do with what's happening or could happen behind.
Yeah, I will agree. And I don't think we're going to see the last of cautions here. I think we may see some more possibly near the middle of the pack as you see cars start to kind of dodge and weave. Now coming to 15 laps to go. The closest car and freshest tires right now is in P9. Now in P8, that is James Lowe.
They're working their way back up. All these guys got fresh rubber, and it's a whole lot easier navigating this track with sticky tires. Car in the wall in the back of the pack.
Yeah, we got 3 wide. No, we're getting close.
Yep, but that's Worrell. They split the 48 there, or 46 of Ryan Cook.
Wow. What racing? 14 to go.
Ryan had no place to go, but basically just waited out as those guys worked their way around. They are now up to 8th. Chris Worrell. They're now chasing down the 18 of Aaron Jackson.
1.8 seconds, Rick. That's the gap between first and 8th. First guy on fresh tires. Everybody in front of them single file, which actually you don't... Whoa, he's loose. You don't want to see. You don't want to see these guys single file. It makes it a lot harder to pass.
That was,
now 13 to go.
Chris Worrell dirt tracking it.
Yep, absolutely he was. See, this is why I kind of liked it. I think it was going to be a little tough to get around all these cars. They basically right now have to pass about a little under a car per lap. So they're trying to make their move right now on the 18 machine. And they are. Now we see some side-by-side racing up there, and side-by-side racing for the lead from the 7 and the 4 now battling.
Zach Ward gets around Nathan Harper, who goes up high. That puts Charles Van Scoik under, trying to get around him. Oh, car spin, that's 81. That's Barletta.
And caution. That involved Chris Worrell and the 81 machine. Spinning off the nose of that 06. Need to go back and take a look at it, see what happened. All right.
Watching behind the 81 here. Is the 6 coming up hot?
Oh, man.
That was weird.
I mean, the 81 had it saved. He was out of the spin.
But he was out of the throttle as well, unfortunately.
True. I mean, we've seen this is the second time we've seen that tonight where a guy behind hasn't been able to slow down in time, which is it's unfortunate for both drivers getting damaged.
So right there, you can see him out of shape. And the 6 just had a huge run and unfortunately did not back out.
No lift.
No lift, sorry. And unfortunately spun the 81. 81 did a great job trying to keep it mostly off the wall. A little bit of contact there. Not terrible. All right. So caution's out, and a number of drivers who have made their way back down. We're on pit road now. John Ledger, Charles Van Scoik, Aaron Jackson. One of the guys that we saw up at the front, I think they realized, hey, this tire thing, we need tires.
Now I'm gonna kind of flip this. I don't like that move because now you have 20 plus cars in front of you. I don't think you would have lost that track position in the last 10 laps. I mean, with the way that they were racing, you may have lost 5 spots, 5, 6, 7 spots, but I think it's going to be tough to make up any ground once everybody in front of you has just a couple lap older tires.
All right, our 6th caution of the night with just 10 laps to go. Zach Ward finds himself in an unfamiliar position all the way up front. He is up 24 positions from his qualifying position. He's got the 4 of Nathan Harper to his outside, wherever they line up, and Lilith Peters finds herself in 3rd. A little bit of a fake out there on the on pit road. I've
See what you got to do.
Yeah, I guess I've seen so many people make that attempt and then make a mistake, and either they spin out or cause someone else to spin out.
Yeah, no, it's a risky move. It is. It's a lot of guys do it just for the antics, and sometimes it works. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. But got to give it a shot every once in a while. But hey, what we do know that we can guarantee works is fresh tires work, and we know that everybody from 3rd or 4th on back, Chris Worrell on back, have fresher tires than the top 3. So Ward, Harper, and Peters all are on about 8 to 11 lap older tires, and with probably going to be 7 to go once we get the green flag and cross that line. At this point, I think it's kind of a done deal unless we have another accident which sends us possibly to a green-white checker. Those guys are going to catch the leaders.
All right, we'll go back to green flag racing here, and with just a handful of laps left. Okay, 8 as we cross the line. It'll be 7 by the time we go back and catch the green. Zach Ward, maybe it's the paint scheme, but he looks like that's a battle wagon. I mean, looks like he may have maybe it's just his paint scheme, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool paint scheme. He has Land Pirate on board there on that Chevy Camaro, and he's been possibly could steal everybody's loot tonight if he brings home a win.
Well, I mean, look at this front row. Both these guys.
Yeah.
Zach Ward started 24th, Nathan Harper 29th, and they are both right now. That's the front row.
Yeah, it's impressive to watch, and you can't deny they're putting themselves in the right place at the right time. They're here leading both lines. What's going to be 7 laps to go. Now, what happens? Yeah,
I was going to say everybody behind them pitted last on lap 131. So
yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to battle anybody that has any fresh. We're going to see what happens, but these guys are battling up here in the front. Will there be another caution? Will we see?
Yep, John, I've kind of lost your mic. Just kind of faded out there, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Nope, you're in a tunnel. Oh, already a little bit of spin up front. The whole front end is road just made a mess. Cars in the grass. Not sure what happened here. There may be some black flags or issues here with that restart. Looks like somebody didn't go.
How about now? You got me?
Oh yeah, got you now.
All right. somebody definitely spun their tires up in the front, which caused that, which is now going to send Zach Ward about half a second in front of Chris Worrell with 6 laps to go. Battles all throughout the field.
Yeah, we saw 3 wide. Now you've got Chris Worrell, James Lowe, Armando Ortiz, Lilith Peters, and Christopher Howell all chasing down Zach Ward with just a handful.
Maybe not. Didn't look like they were sideways, Rick.
I was going to say I didn't see a wreck, but it, certainly wouldn't be surprised.
All right, 5 laps to go, and the 7 car, or the 06 has caught the 7. And you have the 07 behind the 06, and here's the move. Ford tried to block. There's nowhere to go. New leader, the 06 of Christopher Worrell. 7 tries to battle side by side, not going to be able to do it. Oh, the 06 got a little loose there.
Caution's out.
Oh,
Ryan
boy.
Cook has crashed.
Uh-oh.
Ryan is the last car. Christoph Hall is involved.
Well, that's not good.
And that's the 19 of Ledger that came down. Contact. That probably needs a good look at. And then unfortunately the 64 comes down and tags back in the 46, and you just heard that engine expire on that 46.
Tough break for the 46.
All right, 7th caution of the night.
We will be getting a green-white checker.
Yep. Now Chris Worrell, Zach Ward came in on lap 120. I think he's the only driver that may have potentially a fuel issue. Not that he does. But all right, so we'll go back to racing when we take that green with a green-white checker. If you're unfamiliar with that, that's basically the green flag will fly. If the drivers make it around back to the start-finish, the white flag will come out, and then whatever happens, happens at that point. Prior to that, if the yellow flag does come out, we will rack and stack and do this all over again.
Well, Rick, I don't know who I'd want to be in this situation. It's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know what to do. I mean, you got the outside lane that probably really wants to get a strong run, but the inside's so strong. I don't know what I would do if I was the leader. What lane would you pick if you were the leader, inside or outside?
I see that there's even a more challenge here for the rest of the field. You've got Chris Worrell, who is the lead car. He has got his teammate, James Lowe, in third. So they'll both line up on the inside, nose to tail. I think that's the factor. Now, I think right now what we've seen tonight, that low line is the way to go. It's not like there's not a whole lot of draft value, here. It's really, the shortest way around this track, which is that lower line.
Well, we're about to find out where everybody will line up here
Next time by.
next time by. You can have the teammates lining up nose to tail, or let's see what happens with the 06. And inside line.
So that's going to be so that's Lilith Peters on the outside behind Zach Ward. Great driving for Lilith to get back up here. She's been consistent pretty much most of the night. Back, started in 11th, now here in 4th.
Yeah, could get her first podium here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. She's in a good spot because we know Zach Ward's tires are not great, but also look at the 11 car, Joey Doucette. You got the 88 of Chris Howell there, Armando Ortiz.
Remember, Zach Ward and Lilith both pitted around lap 120, 122. So they're about 10 laps to the bad versus everybody that's around them.
Yeah, we'll see. All I know is this is going to be a chaotic restart here. Our first green-white checker of the night. Will it be our last? You never know.
Well, I think
you never shall know.
This is definitely setting up for a fantastic finish here at Texas. And these Tech4Troops guys don't disappoint, that's for sure.
Not at all. Fresh tires on the inside lane, first 2 rows. Old tires on the outside line, first 2 rows. Pace cars down. Green flag back in the air. Big jump for the 06 and the 07 outside line stacks up big time, as we are going to have possibly a 2-horse race between James Lowe and Chris Worrell. Now Zach Ward assumes 3rd. There's the 11 right alongside Lilith Peters for P4.
Zach Ward has definitely moved into that solid 3rd spot here. They're 3 wide, stacked up behind. 34 is loose, slipping a bit as we come down to take the white flag. Here it comes. Cars in the grass. We are still
wrecking.
Green, but we are
no caution yet. White flag in the air, Rick.
Chris Worrell off the track.
Yep, got a big block from the 7 trying to take place.
That's Joey Doucette.
Yep. Here we go. Out of turn 3 and 4, Chris Worrell wins his, I believe, 2nd race of the season with James Lowe in 2nd and Zach Ward?
Zach Ward right there, super close, crossing that start-finish line and just noses out Joey Doucette for 3rd place.
Wow. By 1/100th of a second.
All right, James Lowe finishes 2nd to Chris Worrell. Zach Ward finishes in 3rd, and we'll wait for the final results to come in. Oh, I think the results are in. 1 second.
All righty, there we go. Chris Worrell brings home his victory tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway with James Lowe right behind him in 2nd. Zach Ward in 3rd, finishing your podium finishers. Don't miss the interviews with those top 3 drivers. You've got Joey Doucette in 4th, Christopher Howell in 5th, Lilith Peters top 6, Mike Slatker in 7th, Armando Ortiz in 8th, Ryan Piven in 9th, and Jeff Nairn rounds out your top 10.
All right, in 11th, Luke Bullard. Good recovery for NB2 Motorsports. Nathan Harper in 12th. Justin Horton in 13th. Jamie Dunning in 14th. Aaron Jackson in 15th. Phil Vandertwick in 16th. Rodney Uberpacker in 17th. In 18th, William Mann Jr. Sean Skytman in 19th. Ethan Thompson is in 20th.
In 21st, Ryan Walker in 22nd, David P. Sharon in 23rd. You have Ty Bostic, 24th, Cody Sturgill, 25th, Sammy Harrell, 26th, Harley Barletta with Marco Berube, Zachary Groover, John Ledger, and Charles Van Scoik rounding out 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th.
31st, Brian Johnson, Ryan Cook, Garrett Johnston in 33rd, 34th, Maurice Burnett, Christoph Hall in 35th, 36th, Bobby Gibson, 37th is going to be Austin Habel, 38th is Kane Vandermark, Austin Collins finishes in 39th, Zach Allen 40th, Jesse Vaughn in 41st, 42nd Ian Ogden, and 43rd Travis Murgard. All right, that finishes up our finishing order for tonight's event. And they are here. Let's go ahead and grab some of our podium finishers into the booth. The first up will be Zach Ward. Zach, congratulations on your P3 finish.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a long night. Definitely lucked out on the strategy there at the end.
Well, heck of a battle at the end too. You had Joey Doucette in your door the whole way around.
Yeah, I was trying to hold him off. I think he was on fresh tires too. I mean, I normally don't throw blocks, but every point counts here. So trying to at least make it into the playoffs this year. So.
Well, I think you that P3 finish is certainly not going to hurt.
Yeah, definitely that'll help. Knew I was a sitting duck there with Chris and James getting to me though on the old tires. So, but I'll take a P3.
Absolutely. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to my dad. He spots me every race. It's huge help. He helps me with all my pit road stuff too. So I mean that's a big burden off my back. And then shout out to Land Pirate. They're a sponsor on the car for the rest of the year. So if you want, you guys could check out landpirate.com. Use code ZachWard7 and get 15% off. So and thank you guys and Tech4Troops for putting on this series. This is awesome, man. The skill level in this league is nuts. These guys are so good in this league.
Well, appreciate you and all that you did out there, and we wish you luck going forward. And there's your P3 finish. That's Zach Ward.
Thank you.
Got it. All right, let's bring in our second place finisher. This will be Mr. James Lowe. James, congratulations.
Hey, how y'all doing, fellas? Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we saw you up at the front and working your way back through a couple of times tonight, especially in those cautions that were timely, sort of. They certainly came out. But then we went through that whole green flag pit stop, and that really jumbled up the field.
Yeah, that it was going to be good for us, I think. We were a lot faster than Ortiz there during that run, so I think we would have been okay. But the cautions definitely jumbled things up, and once you get these caution flags, things start running through your brain, and you start worrying about getting wrecked, and all kinds of crazy stuff goes through your head. But luckily, we were able to navigate through there. Only taking 2 tires on that last stop, so I was surprised. I took the Highline in 3 and 4. I hadn't took it all night, and somehow made it through there without killing myself, so that was good. But then they finished it off and get up there, and Chris go off into the lead there, and I follow him home. It's best case scenario for the team.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were watching as your team went in for that last pit stop and had to navigate your way back up through a number of drivers who stayed out or took fewer tires, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, we were undecided I was undecided if we should have came fitted or not, but finally the team overruled, and we came in and got some tires. But I took 2. I wasn't taking 4, so yeah, somehow it worked out, and I appreciate everybody for running pretty clean up there and giving the space, even though you're running tight, but you're still giving space. So that was cool.
Yeah, I think we remarked earlier that it was just such really good racing tonight.
Yeah, all night long. Cars would get tight, but that's just the way it is around here. It's one lane, so unless somebody really gets brave and checks the outside, which I had to do a few times tonight, and it worked out. So, but yeah, overall it was a really good race from my viewpoint.
Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, Chris and Austin Collins, for joining us this week. He'll be here the rest of the week. He had to take care of some things offline, so he had to leave a little early, but he'll be here for the rest of the year. And Tech4Troops for sponsoring, GOAT Diecast you guys for broadcasting, man. Y'all do a fabulous job. I always can't wait to watch the broadcast back. And my Aunt Mary Lou, I know she's out there watching, pulling for me and Chris, and now Austin. So say what's up to her, and hope we did her proud again. And yeah, all the competitors for having a great race.
All right, there's your second place finisher, James Lowe, and now we welcome Chris Worrell to the broadcast booth.
Riggs, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. You must be pretty happy. This is our
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're doing this all over again.
Yeah, man, that was a fun race. Before I forget anything, I'd like to thank Ma Dukes for watching, Aunt Mary for watching, Harley Barletta for being such a good sport. And that accident there, I know we were coming through the field. He said he got loose there. You know, obviously we're both racing hard, trying to get the front win. He's such a nice dude. Really cool about that accident. You know, obviously I hate it. Hopefully it didn't ruin his race, but you know, definitely took some spots from him. But I hate that for Harley. So yeah, I'd like to give him a shout out for being so cool about that accident. I apologize to him if that's on me. But other than that, yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting. I'm super excited for the win. Yeah.
John, any thoughts? I know we were pretty much spotlighting you, Chris, as you guys came back up through after that last green flag stop, and then through the subsequent late cautions. But yeah, it was certainly fun to watch for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just want to say that I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I've got my right ankle fused for my where I use the throttle, so I can't bend my ankle. And today, being on my feet for a long time, my foot locked up. Went through the most tremendous pain I've had since I've broken this ankle, trying to get through this race. So this felt good to come through and get the win here. That hurt like hell. So yeah, those cautions definitely helped out. I was able to stretch. I pounded a banana and a couple waters, and it got me to the end. But yeah, I'm just super excited. Thanks to the teammates, Austin Collins for coming in. He'll be racing with us more the rest of the season. James Lowe, my good buddy. Everybody watching, to the league too. You know, there's a lot of this is a hard track to run. It gets super loose after 15 laps. And we got our first green flag pit stop cycle in. Almost got 2 of them in. So congrats to the league. Great racing from everybody. Just awesome night.
All right, there's your winner, Mr. Chris Worrell here at Texas in the Tech4Troops Texas 225, followed by James Lowe. Zach Ward rounds out your podium. John, I'm just super proud of these guys. What a great race tonight.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race to call, and the coolest part about this is, I don't know if y'all have seen the standings yet, but the top 3 on the podium tonight are the top 3 drivers who are leading the point standings right now. Chris with 130 points, with James in second at 118, and Zach Ward at 95. So these 3 guys at top of the boards right now, making their championship strides known early on. But Rick, next week is a totally different story. You know where we're going?
Tell us where we're going, John.
Bristol Motor Speedway, 250 laps of absolute chaos and great racing. It's going to be a good show. So make sure to come out next week on the 28th, a week from tonight at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time, where we're going to be, hopefully, if we get 43 cars from Bristol, just all I got to say is get your popcorn ready. It'll be a fun one, especially to hear the interviews at the end. So.
All right, there you have it. Again, thank you all for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We ask that you like, follow, and stay tuned for future events next Wednesday. And again, tomorrow night, we'll bring you the iNASCAR Series. Join us there. So again, from John and myself, thank you for tuning in, and have a great night.
Good night, folks.